Preemptive because it's happening before or perhaps even in order to avoid a global conflict like World War I, World War II, or the Cold War. To make sense of what's going on in today's world, these enormous geopolitical disruptions with significant economic and financial impact on many businesses and almost all investors around the world, I think it makes sense to have a real sense of historical perspective. I think there are two very important things to see from history in what's happening. One, I would say we're having a preemptive reordering of the international system and the world economy. Preemptive because it's happening before or perhaps even in order to avoid a global conflict like World War I, World War II, or the Cold War, each of which sort of reordered the world economy over time, especially in favor of the United States, making for a unipolar world economy where the U.S. was hegemonic in almost every sphere of international activity. Today, many people think we're going into a kind of bipolar world order, divided up between the U.S. and China. Others argue that we're heading for a multipolar world order. I think neither is really true. I think what we're looking at is what I would call an unpolar world order. There are many competing powers. The US, China, Russia are leading military powers. But when it comes to the economy, it's the US, China, and the Eurozone. When it comes to finance, the US is probably, hegemonic still, right? It's still pretty much a dollar-dominated and indeed a dollar-denominated kind of world economy when it comes to trade, finance, commodities, investment, you name it. On the other hand, global growth is much more evenly distributed. India contributes as much to global growth or more, depending on the year, than the Eurozone. The UK and Japan are still very important. Brazil makes a big difference. So the world economy isn't really divided up in this kind of neat unipolar, bipolar, or indeed multipolar kind of way. What matters and who matters depends on the topic, the theme, the objective of any particular kind of policy or decision that corporations or investors want to make. So I think it's a much more nuanced sort of situation, and I'm looking forward to discussing this and other ideas at the Slide to Open conference in Athens in the beginning of March. I hope to see you there.